cold out there. All right. Yeah. All right. Joining us now to weigh in is Minnesota State Representative Mike Wiener, along with Minnesota State Senator Nathan Wesenberg. Great to have you both with us here. I'm going to start with you, Mike. Do you think President Trump is going to take Governor Walz's offer to come to your state to see your values in action? What would that look like?
Well, actually, that'd be quite entertaining. I think I have to question, though, what values is Comrade Walz going to display to President Trump? I mean, the massive fraud, the inability to work with federal agencies. What values does he say we're promoting here? Because, you know, what he's doing down in the metro right now is horrible for our state, and it sets a horrible example across our whole nation.
Nathan, regardless whether, say, hypothetically, President Trump did go to Minnesota and see Governor Walz, doesn't negate the fact that he has to be investigated because $9 billion of taxpayer money has been abused and wasted, defrauded. Also, 10,000 plus criminal illegal aliens walking around the streets. You're the governor of the state. That's going to be looked at by the chief executive officer of the presidency.
Yeah, that's why all these riots or don't want to call them riots, but all these protests are happening. They're trying to cover up the fraud and extinguish it. Look, we got Tennessee and I think Michigan. Their Democrat officials are working with ICE and they're deporting these people. In Minnesota, we're causing chaos and we're saying we can't deport and arrest these illegal aliens who have been killing people and murdering people. In Minnesota, we have a revolving door, and in the legislature, we've been fighting that. If you're a bad guy, you go in the door and you get pushed right back out. We got Mary Moriarty even refusing to prosecute fraud for Somalians. So if Trump were to come here, it'd be great for him to see what we do in outstate Minnesota and the work we're doing. But yeah, this is all just to cover up the fraud. So when this is gone, we're going to get right back on the fraud, and that'll be good for elections.
Yeah, Mike, I was going to ask you a question similar to what Nathan sort of alluded to there. Again, not to be intending to be conspiratorial, but do you think that all of the ICE brouhaha, so to speak, is really a way for, for Governor Walz to sort of put, I'll say, the really big topic about the fraud where he very much could be liable? We know, again, Nick Shirley testifying today, put that a little bit on the back burner so people are focusing on something else, sort of a look over here, not at that big thing.
Well, I think that's a great comparison. You know how a magician distracts you from one issue, from one hand to another, and you can't help but see that's exactly what's happening here with Governor Walz. Take the attention off the massive amounts of fraud and distract people with another riot. So in Minneapolis or in Minnesota, especially in the cities, there's almost a murder every day. I think there's 500 and some on average in our state. And yet one shooting with ICE, which is tragic, but that becomes the rallying point. What about the other 500 people plus that are killed in our state? So it shows you that there was this riots or what's going on here is really just political theater that is the distraction from the fraud.
Nathan, 20 seconds, the articles of impeachment at the state level. Where does that stand here? Give us an update there.
Well, Mike Wiener did put those through, so that starts in the House of Representatives, and if we can push that through, then then it'll move on. Many people want to see Tim Walz impeached, and he should be impeached, and he should be put in jail. This is orchestrated chaos to keep Democrats in control.
Okay, got to leave it there. Gentlemen, we appreciate you coming on. Minnesota State Representative Mike Wiener, Minnesota State Representative Nathan Wesenberg. Appreciate you both coming on.